Someone's getting fed next door. Good afternoon, everybody. It's us. It's us again. Happy Monday, if that's a thing. Come on, come here then. Ready? I love the way you turn around when I flip the camera. You're very very helpful. Hey, there you go. Found this stream. Yeah, 404. Yeah, get you. Sorry, I didn't pick. Oh, it's been a long morning. Bird, hi. What doing? Other than not fixing your overbite, what you doing? What? I'll have to get you more things to biff, aren't I? Could hear that one from across the way. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Boo. Well, look, I hope, plus it's miserable, cloudy weather, yeah. I hope it gets better. Hope your day gets better, that's rubbish. You see what we can do, bird, eh? What do you think? I know, I'm feeling the same way. It's cold and wet. It was super foggy this morning. It was really, couldn't see across the road levels of fog this morning. Lots of birds waking up being very confused about where they were. Look at this. And it's still a little bit, Oh, bird. What are we doing now? What do we think? Yeah, would you like to cheer us up? Or would you just give us a... Are you in the mood for just being a nice quiet ear today? What do you think? That was a... Ahoy, hoy! That was a squirrel jumping over the crow's aviary. That was somebody running over the roof of Harkington Hall. What do you think? Very cute squirrels on the fence. They will eat you out of house and home. They will completely destroy any food you put out for them. I filled the bird feeder last night before I went in after doing the aviaries. It's empty now. They're just, hey, Elena, just completely destroy everything. They're just, you put bird food out, and then squirrels turn up, and then you have no bird food. And the birds are just sitting there, just going, well, that's you don't need tobacco, Bree. Ace. And the birds just turn up and just going, I'm sure there used to be food here. And there's just one big fat bloaty squirrel, just all right, sort of thing over in the corner. Just, cheers, lad. But we have at least 4 of those squirrels. We have no bird food at all. I think I could legitimately fill the bird feeder up twice a day. Anyway, you have to order in some more bird seed. Oh, I know, it's just my nose. All day. My nose has been making noises the entire day. I'm getting a little bit tired of it now. I've had enough of my nose not feeling like my nose. And that's not an excuse for you to gronk it. It needs lots of things, but gronking is not one of them. What are we doing, bird? Haven't got a bum warm yet, but we're thinking about one. I'm so glad I don't have to type the emoji, because I have no idea how to call up an emoji thing inside Twitch. What do you think? Hmm? No bone warm yet, though. It's not. No bone warm. Now Jack doesn't sound like a possessed death metal vocalist. That's a downside. I don't see it. That sounds pretty great. Get an album cut while you're there. See if you can, be like Vincent Price. Just pluck a random bit of like Lord of the Rings and just like yell it into a microphone. I'm not saying it's not painful. It just sounds ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, Vincent Price did like a black metal album when he was like 93 or something. Pretty great. I'm on office duty tomorrow and Thursday. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Do you have to answer the telephone? Because that could be awesome. Christopher Lee. Yeah, Christopher Lee. I think Christopher Lee might be the person I'm thinking of, actually, rather than Vincent Price. Yeah. Yeah, it was. You're right. Get a goth lawyer. Yeah, it was Christopher Lee. Now I think about it. Thank you for that. It was Christopher Lee. Yeah, not Vincent Price. Christopher Lee. Just that does remind me about Christopher Lee's Wikipedia page. Like, if you haven't read Christopher Lee's Wikipedia page, treat yourself. Treat yourself later on. Have a read of Christopher Lee's biography. Yikes. Doing house cleaning. House cleaning is quite satisfying if you're in the right mood for it. House cleaning can be... A little spot house cleaning can be quite satisfying. If you're in the right mood and you've got the right music, yeah, a little scrub up's quite satisfying. That is... Well, it's obviously a two-stroke engine. I don't know what it's powering. But, whatever it is, it doesn't sound like it's under load. It just sounds like it's an engine spinning. Oh, okay, we're off. Yeah. Oh, niggling at all the crumbs in there because someone's had a fit and thrown it on the floor. If you don't do it during microbreak. Yeah, I think the problem with house cleaning and that kind of thing is you have to keep doing it. If you stop, that's it. If you're anything like me, if you stop for a cup of tea or something like that, that's it. Cleaning has ended. Yeah, no load. Whatever it is, he's spinning it up, and there's nothing on the end of it. Hey, look how we've calmly moved to crouch cam. That was almost a transition, bird. No kissings. Get off me, weirdo. Adult is just hoovering all the time. Pretty much, yeah. It's hoovering. And you're an adult when you buy like a special duster to get under things or get in between things. Like I bought a special little duster a few years ago to get between pieces of stereo equipment. And you're like, oh, I'm a grown up now. Oh no, I've just bought a special dusting tool. Oh, deciding what to make for dinner, yeah. We don't have that for dinner, but we do have for supper. I'll come down from my computer room about like 7:30 sort of time. And you can feel the female go, oh no, here he comes, we're going to have to cook now. Yeah, I know, right? Christopher Lee's Wikipedia page. It starts off with him volunteering for the Finnish army at age 17 and then gets crazy. And then gets crazy. Thanks for coming, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah. Like the story about when he was working on Lord of the Rings, he took Peter Jackson to one side and said, "Look, that isn't." There's a scene where like an orc gets stabbed in the back or something like that, and he took them to one side and went, "That's not the sound people make when they get stabbed in the back. It's more of like a," and like schooled them on the noise people make when they're stabbed in the back. And everyone on set was like, "Okay then, we'll get that corrected." Yeah. Yeah, he was a Nazi hunter for a while. He was the real deal. Yeah, like properly hardcore lad. What are we doing, bird? Oh, that's a good leaf. Bloody hell, that's brilliant you found. Oh, did you get it out? Let me see. Yeah, that is a pretty great leaf. That is, as leaves go, that is one. What do we think? I mean, you've got plenty. You've got plenty to choose from. Hang on, I've closed the chat. She doesn't really mimic me. She's 404 missing notifications. Yay. She's actually taught me magpie rather than me taunting her. I mean, you can see. This is the brain you're dealing with today. I'm afraid, people. Rather than me teaching her English words, she's taught me magpie. Yes, but I see it too. I can see that the cuttlefish bone is slightly low. I can see that. Oh, there's still a reasonable amount on there, but it's just you've gnawed it down too thin to keep in the holder. Lots of wasted bombs. What an odd turn of phrase. Lots of wasted bombs. What an odd turn of phrase that is. Yeah, it's a bit like that sometimes. She'll bring me the really thin piece of cuttlefish, and like put it in my hand like. Are you looking at this? Are you seeing this? Oh, that was okay. I mean, dignity is paramount, isn't it? I mean, you know. Also, you've pooed on your stick. Throw that out there, because obviously I need to clean that now. You're just a lean, mean pooing machine today, bud, aren't you? Hmm? I mean, it's good that you're regular, don't get me wrong, I'm pleased with that, but, you know, let's have a look at this. Oh no, there is still nominal amounts of kettle. Oh, hello. Nominal amounts of cuttlefish on there. Yeah. Magpie business. Yeah, magpie business. Oh, what do you think, magpie? How many times does the bird poo in a day? Lots. More than a tiny bit, but less than Irma Gerd. What do you reckon, bird? How many times do you poo in a day? We could count. I mean, because this whole place gets cleaned every day. There's no poo on this at like 5 o'clock in the evening. So I suppose you could go around and count the splats if you really, yeah, if you for science. how many do you... Yar. 3 times on my jacket, yeah, definitely. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but she actually hasn't pooed on my coat for a while now. It's alright, every 20 minutes. That probably checks out, actually, about every 20 minutes. That probably checks out. That sounds about... Oh, hang on. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Favourite joke. Come on, lay it on us. Yeah, I'm totally jinxing it now. My coat is definitely getting shat on in a minute. Pirate's favourite letter of the alphabet. I think we all know the answer, but we still want to hear it. I mean, we're all ready. We all sort of know what's going to happen, but we're ready anyway. Well, it's going to be R, isn't it? I mean, it will come as no surprise to anyone. The author pose was. Occasionally, Sophie does that. It's weird how every now and again she just sort of like gets a very thoughtful look. It's a very... But their first love is the sea. Ah, badum dish. Ah, nice. Hello. That's okay. Okay. So we're done with the cuttlefish then. Are we all fished out? First love is the sea. That is quite strong. That is. She jumped on my arm. That was dangerous then. That was very dangerous. I thought I was going to get pooed on. I still may get pooed on. You know, day ain't over yet. Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing? Hang on. It keeps switching off the Hey, hello. It keeps switching off the local chat on my phone. It's doing really well. I'm here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. That is quite good, actually, because it's a setup that you think you're going to know the joke, and oh, spotted cherry, yeah. I quite like jokes like that. I quite like jokes that play with your understanding of how jokes work. Oh, bird. Do you hear this, bird? You're beautiful. People are saying you're beautiful. And who are we to argue? It was the Sailor RC joke, yeah. It was. And it was strong. It was strong. Innocent and daft, yes. Again, that could be a title of my autobiography. Innocent and daft. What do you reckon, bird? What are you thinking about? Is it murder? Is it murder, bird? Is it killing? Of course it's not. Idiot. Definitely planning something, though. See, the Biff station is doing good business, even though it's getting quite soggy in places. It's getting a little bit... This one's not holding up quite as well as the other ones. I normally get a couple of weeks out of a Biff station before it gets a bit bleh. But this is getting a little bit bleh now. She hasn't even had a chance to peck any holes in it yet. Oh, hang on. Gourmet theatre begins, hang on. Responsible mouthfuls, yep. Five recommended channels. Oh, God, that's cool. Well, hi. Well, firstly, welcome. Hi. Let me change cameras. Hang on. Now look, are we going to stay on crouch cam, or is it just going to be Ernest Bowdy cam? What do you think? It's going to be Ernest Bowdy cam, isn't it? Yeah. Well, Sophie came to us from a origin story. Yay! Settle down, kids. It's time for the origin story. Sophie came to us from a wildlife rescue up in Yorkshire. As you can tell by my accent, we're not in Yorkshire. And she was stolen when she was an egg. Some kids climbed a tree, stole bird eggs. When they hatched, they were obviously not the breed of bird the kids wanted. They dropped the eggs and chick on a local wildlife volunteer. And that volunteer, bless her heart, hand-fed the birds. When she was like, drink, finish your drink. But, okay, she's all the way over there because she doesn't like hearing her origin story. So the volunteer who like hand-fed Sophie, unfortunately, I guess you'd say in a way, did it in her living room, just in her house. So Sophie became imprinted, is what they called imprinted, is when the animal thinks a different species are her family. So Sophie thinks that humans are chill and nice and fun to hang around with because she was raised by one. And but that means that Sophie wouldn't survive in the wild. She's not injured in any way. She just, if she was in the wild, she would just go fly up to the first human she thinks looks okay and start doing dances for them and trying to get them to feed her and that kind of thing, to the detriment of her chances of survival in the wild. So yeah, lack of survival skills is a very concise way of saying all the gibberish I'm talking about. So we got a phone call because we've already got an aviary over there. We already had an aviary over there with a rescue rook and a crow. So they she flew up to another sector. Yeah, I know, right? Just like roaming in the countryside, visiting people. And yeah, so it was already known. We were already known that we were chill with corvids because you've got to have a certain vibe to take care of corvids because they are very needy. So we got a phone call one day to say, could we offer an imprinted magpie a forever home? And we said yeah, and that was like 11 and a half years ago. So here we are. A certain madness. Yeah, you have to be a certain type of nutter to be able to take care of corvids because they are well needy. Should we pop over the road, Bert? Should we just go and... I can't zoom with this, I'm afraid, because this is just the Twitch client. That's okay, there's no need to apologise. That's okay, buddy. So yeah, over the way there, you can just about maybe make out the Rory and Con, which are rescue rook and crow. And they're injured wild birds rather than Sophie's imprinted. I think you can Chromecast this. I haven't explicitly denied it in the settings or anything, so I'm pretty sure you can cast this to a TV. And yeah, they're injured wild birds, so we look after them in a separate aviary because they have different needs to Sophie in that they are. Rory has like Rory the rook. She has the equivalent of like a clubbed foot. Watching on your Switch. Ooh, get you. Cool. I didn't know that worked. Black me. Yeah, Rory has like the bird equivalent of club foot, so she can't hold on to perches very well. And Con, the crow, which you can see here on your right hand side of the two, the bigger one of the two at the moment, because he's sitting up. Someone shot him with an air rifle, unfortunately, and broke his shoulder. And like with birds, if you break your shoulder, that's pretty much it. You know, as for flying wise, I don't think there's any drawing tool. I'm looking. No drawing tool. So yeah, if you break your shoulder, that's pretty much it for flying, unfortunately. So he can't fly, poor thing. And so they live in an aviary that's more designed around hopping. They've got a lot more perches and a lot more like ladders and that kind of thing. So they've got more of a sort of accessible aviary, whereas Sophie's is more flipping around and yelling at stuff and pecking things and looking a bit blank, standing on cardboard. Hey! You'll have to excuse my friend Biggles. You'll have to excuse Biggles. We live quite close to a small airport, so you get light aircraft, and all right, that wasn't necessary. She sees the female through the kitchen window. She sees the kitchen. The kitchen window is there, and it contains the female, and that is angering your magpie. Yeah, and there's a flying school at the airport. It's a small airport. It's like 2 runways and a bit of grass. It's not really a airport is pushing it quite a bit, you know, airport is. But there's a flying school there, so occasionally you hear things like that. You hear people like go back on the throttle because they're only like half a mile from the runway and realise that they've maybe backed it off a little bit too much and they need to deck it. That's what just happened to Biggles there. Just like, oh, I say, chaps, I appear to have cut the throttle a bit much. Like, you know. Obviously, if you're quoting Biggles, you have to do it in the voice. You have to do the Biggles voice, otherwise it doesn't count. What do you think, Bird? You came down from the macro quite quickly. Well, yeah, the weird thing is with Sophie is that... Hang on, let me move my dorky little seat. There we go. The weird thing is with... When she first came to live with us, we gave her free choice of the female or me. And for some reason, she picked me. Much to the female's disappointment. Sophie picked me. And Magpie's mate for life. So, you know, I'm Mr. Sophie. And Sophie doesn't hate the female, but she just sort of like, she overloads a little bit when the female's around, especially if she can see me and the female at the same time. She just gets a little bit over spicy. The spice becomes more than she can cope with, and it just gets a little bit much for her. Doesn't it, Bird? You just get a bit macro. Get a bit macro. She's by no means aggressive. I mean, she's not aggressive at all, but she does just get a little bit... Huh? What type of magpie is it? Sophie is an Eurasian magpie, which is a member of the crow family. Yeah, she must have some way of telling, 100%. Yeah, she's an Eurasian magpie, which is the... I mean, they're not rare birds here in the UK, or even like Northern Europe. Some bits of Russia, bits of Canada, that kind of thing. All have a species of magpie, don't they? You got some cousins in Canada. Birds can see further into ultraviolet. Yeah, must be weird. Must be able to weird to see ultraviolet. I think they've got different persistence of vision as well, because I've got a couple of LED torches. I've got a few LED torches. Something happens in the garden, you come out with a torch, you know. And there are some of them that have the ones that you can just click on and the light comes out of them and you click it and light goes off. They don't have any weird settings or like pulses and that kind of thing. Sophie's completely fine with, but there's one torch in the house that's like a little handheld sort of LED thing that Sophie will not be illuminated by that light. You can chase her around with it and she'll always be slightly ahead of where the light's going. She absolutely refuses to have light. She seems to have a relationship with the female. Yeah, I think the female is just like, it's the competition, isn't it? It's just like if the female comes into the garden, he doesn't look at me as much, so that makes me angry. Yeah, and that torch has a whole bunch of weird sort of settings. It's got like 3 dimmy things, and I assume it's PWM. I assume it's a PWM LED, so she must be able to see the flickering and not like it. Yeah, weird love triangle. Are we in a bizarre love triangle, Bird? What do you think? See, now I'm thinking of Joy Division, which is fine. What are you doing? What does Bird? Bird, what has? Other than cold feet, what you got? Okay. What are we doing? Yeah. Thank you, Bird. Hey, there you are, look. Okay, nice to see you. Yeah, every now and again, just think about Joy Division. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's far worse things to think about. It's like, oh, this is nice. This is comfy music. Oh, hang on. Are we? Oh, that's. Look at the graceful, delicate, cultured, intelligent. Like the Smiths, yeah. Just take a moment. You know, hey, have you thought about the Smiths today? Oh, look at that. What are we thinking about? Oh. At least she's not pitching too... Oh, she's pitching quite a bit on the floor. No, I think this is... Look at the grace, the delicacy, the bit of cup of soup. Do you want a cup of soup, Noddy? Most of the... Hang on. Pot noodle. I want a pot noodle. Most of the time with the perches, I hose them down. The only time you really need to scrub them is in the summer, because magpie poo is part toxic waste, part epoxy resin. There's something weird about bird poo that once it's been dried on with the sun, it doesn't come off, it just does not come off. So you got to get in there. We've got like little scrubbing brushes that we use. Like those little one-handle scrubbing things you use on your frying pan. We've got one of those. But a lot of the time, all it needs is to be hosed down. If there's something gross, then yeah, you've got to get in there. We've got like you can buy bird safe disinfectant. You can buy like, it's red. I don't quite know why it's red. I think it's just chlorhexidine or something like that. But you can buy like Avery safe. Yeah, you can buy like bird safe disinfectant spray that if something's really gross in here, or like, you know, you can't just you can't get it away with a spray or like something like that, then you got to get in there with a spray. But you don't normally do things that gross, do you? You're not normally that disgusting. I guess it is proteiny. Yeah, I assume it would be. Yeah, you say it. Yeah, I mean, I've never really given bird poo, in spite of the fact I regularly get covered in it. I've never really given the makeup of bird poo a huge amount of thought. The veterinary disinfectant, yeah, that's it. You can get it from the pet shop. It's not expensive, but yeah, by all accounts, you can't use normal sort of like kitchen disinfectants. It's a protein lipid thing or something, if I remember correctly. Right, bird, come on. Right, gang. I hate to be the one that goes, but I gotta go. I've got to have some lunch, and then I've got to go back to work. So hey, look, thanks for your company, everybody. It's always lovely to speak to new and regulars. If you've just stumbled across us on Twitch, nearly said it. If you just stumbled across us on Twitch and you'd like to follow Sophie on Twitter, her Twitter handle is @BreeSophieBree. And there's a Discord and a WordPress wiki, both linked from her Twitter profile. If you want to chat with more chat people, there's a Discord you can get stuck into. Or if you prefer, you can just Google Sophie the Magpie. Right. Cheers, gang. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.